Let me start this speech with one simple statement. We made it. At some point in the last 4 years, we've all faced at least one challenge. Whether it was finding a way to pass our classes, finding time to do the mountains of homework we procrastinated, or maybe it was simply just trying to wake up in time for school. At some point, we all faced an obstacle, no matter the size, that we needed to overcome in order to sit where we are today. And to that I say, congratulations, Warriors, because we, the class of 2018, have completely, truly, and absolutely made it. Later, when we eagerly toss our caps into the air, remember two things. The first is to remember where we threw our caps, because we paid good money for them, so we might as well keep track of them. The second one is more important. Remember the things we learned here at WHS. While we often questioned, when will I ever need to know how to do this in the real world? Our teachers so eagerly pointed out that finding cross-sections and being able to compose a literary criticism of Hamlet are skills that we are guaranteed to use. But the truth is, while we may not use this knowledge, we were taught a considerable amount more. Learning extends beyond pages in a textbook. Learning is so much more than memorizing the parts of the brain and then forgetting them right after taking the test. The wonderful staff here at WHS, whether purposely or not, have taught us a great deal more than just the Common Core. They've taught us necessary tools for the real world that cannot simply be learned by filling out a couple of worksheets. These are the things to remember and take with us when we finally leave the halls of WHS. Independence, confidence, and the reassurance that we can always learn more. Independence is defined as the fact or state of being independent, whether it's through turning assignments in on time, making up work we missed, or deciding to do things that are the best for us in the long run. We've all been taught independence. We should always strive to showcase our independence and our ability to reach our goals on our own. Cherish this knowledge when we face the world next year. Confidence is based on firm trust. We must have confidence in ourselves when we face new obstacles. If we want something bad enough and believe in ourselves, we can overcome any obstacle that comes in our way. Confidence provides the foundation for accomplishing any project. Always remember, we can do it. Lastly, we can always learn more. The world is full of information. Explore, discover, but most importantly, learn. As long as we are willing to look, there's always something new to find. We should look for ways to better ourselves through educating ourselves further. Learning is the most important thing a person can do, so never stop. Before I end my speech, I have 3 things left to say. The first is a thank you to the wonderful staff here at Washington High School. It takes a good teacher to teach, but it takes a great teacher to change someone's life. And we can all agree, WHS is full of great teachers. Every teacher whose classroom we've had the pleasure of being in has impacted our lives for the better in some way or another. And to that, we say thank you. The second is that no matter what we decide to do next year, always remember to persevere. As long as we show independence, demonstrate confidence, and try to learn something new, we can conquer anything. Last but not least, always remember, we made it. It would not be a true warrior send-off if it didn't end like this. I wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors, and hope you never forget that once a warrior, always a warrior. Thank you.
Thank you, Samantha. Our next speaker is Rahama Toretta, giving her commencement address, The Spirit of Washington.
We have spent 4 years alongside our classmates, cheering Onward Warriors and the student section during football games. However, school spirit is more than sporting events and songs. It's in the story we tell and who we are. We are the class of 2018. We were born in the beginning of a new millennium, a new era. We grew up watching Zoe 101 and That's So Raven. We ate Lunchables and kids' cuisines, and we desperately tried keeping up with the Kardashians. We occasionally speak in hashtags and Drake lyrics. We share our lives on Snapchat and Instagram, and we tweet every tear, triumph, and trial. Subsequently, we have been branded as overprocessed, oversensitive, and overexposed. Our elders wish we would put down our phones and do something. And I don't blame them. The leaders of our past have been poised, powerful, and perfect. But the reality is, that isn't our world now. Revolutions have started on Facebook and legislation proposed on Twitter. Just because we have a new medium doesn't make it less meaningful. And it isn't for the better or worse. It's just different. We live in an age where we are able to be both aesthetic and authentic as we move onward, warriors. But as powerful as our phones can be, it's still hard not to feel as if we're not doing enough. We stand unsure of who we are and what we're meant to do in this world. We start contemplating these things around the time we start high school. And lucky for us, we grew at a pretty remarkable school. To recognize the greatness that is Washington, every year we present the Spirit of Washington Award. We honor an outstanding citizen who upholds the ideals of our great school. In doing so, we inadvertently create a chasm between us and them, the normal and the great. Through my years at Washington, I've come to realize that greatness is not a patch of fabric that completes a quilt. It's the thread that weaves it all together, how we live every day. There is immense beauty in the small things we often don't consider. And I am proud to have seen such beauty and grace every day at Washington. I've seen it through the athletes who would give rides to their fellow teammates who otherwise could not have played alongside them. In the melody of the choir and band members who could transport us anywhere through their song. And in the passion of the actors who entertained us through laughs and tears as together we moved onward, warriors. Today, we celebrate the 4 years that we have spent together. As we reflect on who we are and what our school means to us, we realize that this chapter is ending for us. The truth is, for some of us, that's true. For others, we're on different parts of different chapters, and that's okay. Because the part of Washington that stays with us, the part that will always live in us, are the lessons that taught us how to write and share our stories. We learned to live like warriors and help each other do what we aspire to do. Through the guidance of our teachers, the support of our parents, and the passion of our peers, we realized that in order to have the great honor of calling ourselves warriors, we must carry ourselves as such. The great part about the Spirit of Washington is that it is not confined to the school that we soon will leave. Warrior Spirit has illuminated what will be a lifelong pursuit of seeing the best in others, and it lives in us. May it guide us onward, warriors.
Thank you, Rahama. As you've heard, Washington High School has a number of talented individuals, and we are grateful to Samantha and Rahama for sharing their thoughts with us today. Please join me in welcoming to the stage for a short address and the presentation of the class of 2018, Principal Dan Conrad.
Thank you, Rahama and Samantha. Today we come together to acknowledge and celebrate the accomplishments of Washington High School's class of 2018. and it is a great day to be a Warrior. Today's graduation ceremony provides us an opportunity to reflect on the memories that were created, to think about the influence you have had on others, and to recognize your contributions to the rich history and proud tradition of Washington High School. As you think back to your freshman year, when you first came through the doors of Washington High School on Warrior Day, you arrived early in the morning, looking your best, and ready to receive your very first Warrior ID. You dressed sharp, you looked sharp, and you wanted to make an impression on those around you. You arrived with a certain amount of apprehension about how the day would go. But then you quickly found your zone and began to come together as a family. Now, 4 years later, you've arrived for your final Warrior Day. Confident, comfortable, and prepared for your future. You did not arrive at this point in your life by accident. Through your high school career, you learned the essential elements of the Warrior way of life. You had a vision, you were determined, you were disciplined, and you put in the necessary hard work and effort for a successful journey. As the Olympian Jesse Owens stated, we all have dreams, but in order to make dreams come into reality, it takes an awful lot of determination, dedication, self-discipline, and effort. Because of your dedication, determination, and discipline, the class of 2018 was able to achieve the following academic success. There are 136 Regent Scholars, 122 Presidential Education Award winners, 90 National Honor Society members, 94 Sioux Falls AP Achievement Award winners, 28 AP Scholars, 7 AP Scholars with honor, 8 AP Scholars with distinction. 16 of you here today maintained a perfect 4.0 GPA during your high school career. There are 3 National Merit finalists, 1 National Merit Scholar, and 1 Presidential Scholar. But speaking for a majority of you sitting here today, approximately 61% of you challenged yourself to a rigorous course of study and took at least 1 AP course during your high school career. That translates to almost 1,700 semesters of AP coursework. Be proud of the academic footprint you have left behind. As you made it through high school, each year you continue to grow together as a family, and you modeled the Warrior way to the next class of freshmen. The class of 2018 made it a priority not only to be involved in activities, but to get others involved in the Warrior way of life. This past winter, I recall a basketball game when we invited a group of middle school students to come experience what it means to be a Washington Warrior. When these middle school students arrived, they sat off to the one side of the bleachers, whereas the student body has always owned the center of the student section. However, the seniors in the front row turned around as a united group and waved the next generation over and said, "You are part of us. You are Washington Warriors." That gesture is not unique to that game. Throughout your high school career, you have maximized your opportunities to get involved and to involve others in activities. You have led from in front. So whether you completed or competed with your whether you competed with or cheered on your Warrior classmates, as a United Warrior family, your extracurricular accomplishments include 11 state titles during your 4 years at Washington, 3 state titles this year, boys cross country, competitive dance, and a 3rd consecutive football championship. There are 37 South Dakota High School Activity Association All-Academic Conference Team Award winners, 26 individual All-Metro Conference Awards, 9 All-State Orchestra participants, 6 All-State Band, 5 All-State Jazz Band participants, 24 All-State Choir, 6 South Dakota Honor Choir participants, 17 of you qualified for DECA National. There were 2 national qualifiers in debate and 2 national qualifiers in oral and turf. Be proud of the footprint you left because you were involved. The final component of the warrior way of life is to look out for and help those less fortunate. As the legendary UCLA basketball coach John Wooden put it, you cannot have a perfect day without doing someone or doing something for someone who will never be able to repay you. You are a class whose service and generosity has not only impacted Washington High School, but the entire Sioux Falls community. You have given thousands of hours of community service back to the Sioux Falls community. You have raised thousands of dollars for the less fortunate in our community, including Children's Miracle Network, Special Olympics, Project Warm Up, Autism Awareness, local nursing homes, and the banquet. You provided chemo cancer bags for cancer patients, and you raised money to provide over